Hey guys, Martha Mentor here, back with another video. Real quick, I wanted to do a video on nepotism and generational wealth. These are two topics that people have reached out to me recently to get my take on. I kind of flirt with generational wealth when I do my live streams as it kind of correlates to business. But people want my take on it, uh, kind of straightforward, and want my thoughts on it. So I'm gonna knock both of them out together. I mean, this has been a hot topic as far as the nepotism, um, since the whole LeBron and Bronny situation with the NBA and Bronny getting drafted. All right, so my take on nepotism is simple. It's been around for ages. It exists. I agree with it. Right, I agree with it. I think a lot of the people that are complaining on the internet, about LeBron and about the league and this whole Bronny situation, if they were in a situation where they had leverage and they could use their leverage to potentially put their child in a better situation, they would, right? Whether it comes to business, whether it comes to, you know, you know, working, if they're on a job and they've been at their job 20, 25 years and they're on the brink of probably damn near retiring, and their child or children are, graduating high school or graduating college, and they're looking for a job following in mom or dad's footsteps. And because of the relationships they have, they can leverage those relationships to kind of help their kid skip the line, and get those opportunities. They absolutely would. I know I would. I'm pretty sure most of the people who are going to watch this would. I think most of the people that are complaining about the whole Bronny and LeBron situation would. I think one of the major roles of a parent is to work extremely hard so that, the generation that they're raising, their children, can have a better and easier life. And I think utilizing your leverage to put your kid in a better position where they don't have to go and jump through the hoops and the hurdles that you might have had to go through, in your entry into the, let's say, the work field, and you can kind of save them from that because of your leverage. Then I think most parents would utilize that, right? And it's as simple as that. I think it's going to be around. I don't think it's nothing wrong with it. Listen, business and the work industry, no matter what industry of work you're in, whether it be blue collar work, white collar work, you could work for a roofing company, you could work for Walmart. There's always going to be competition, right? And competition in the work field and in business is fierce. You get into a corporate position, everyone wants to move up the ranks of the company, right? Right, because the higher up the ranks you go, the more money you make. Some people may not want to go all the way up. Some people may want to go to a certain point and stop because they don't want to take on the responsibilities that you get as you move further and further up the ranks, right? But in order to move up the ranks, you're competing against other people that are looking to move up the ranks. If there's a certain position and it's only one position, whatever that position is, and you got two or three people going out for that position, you're in competition with those two or three other people. But if you have a family member who's way up there in the ranks, who do you think is going to get that position? If it's your family member that's higher up in the ranks within that company, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get that position, that promotion, due to nepotism because of the leverage that you have within the company. Is it fair? Maybe not, but life isn't fair. It's business. It's just the way things work. And if you were in that situation and you were higher up there in the ranks, you did what you needed to do to get up there, I'm pretty sure that you would utilize your leverage to pull up your family members, your children, your friends, uh, throughout the ranks as well. Now that takes me to generational wealth. And I think this is something that a lot of people want me to talk about, and I think there's a misconception about generational wealth. I know it's been a huge talking point on the internet within the past couple of years. It started to pop up a lot during the pandemic with all the money that was given out, and a lot of influencers popped onto the scene, and they became advocates for starting your own business, and one of the talking points that they used to you know uh, get people to buy into whatever it was they were selling was generational wealth, right? I think people think generational wealth is riches, right? um, but that's not necessarily the case. I think another misconception that is perpetuated on the internet is that you have to start a business to create generational wealth. You see all these influencers and people saying, you know what, buy my course or buy my mentorship, so that I can show you how to build a successful business so you can create generational wealth. Or you'll hear people say, I started this business so I can break that curse and build generational wealth. And I think that's BS. All right. Here's the thing, you don't have to start a business to create or build generational wealth. All right. So when people say that, that's cap. That's not the only way you can build generational wealth. You don't necessarily have to be a business owner to build and create generational wealth. There are people that build generational wealth working a 9 to 5, a career or a job. Well, no, man. Yes, you can. You can absolutely positively build generational wealth working a 9 to 5 or a job. All right. How? Discipline, delayed gratification, and hard work. For example, you can graduate college, or you can, graduate high school, and you can get a job with the city, right? You could be a police officer, a fireman, whatever the minimum qualifications for you to apply. And let's say be a police officer, a fireman, a garbage man, with whatever your local municipality is. You can go out, you can apply, you can work for that local city, right? For 30 years, 34 years, whatever, you have to work to retire. And throughout your tenure working, right, you're investing into your future, your 401k, right? You started a family, you got married, you purchased a home, right? Throughout your tenure of working, you've paid off your home, right? Throughout your tenure of working, you've invested into other pieces of real estate. Throughout your tenure of working, and because you've been delaying your gratification and taking portions of your earnings and investing them into other assets that you can one day, if needed, or if you wanted to, you can turn into cash, like other pieces of real estate, stocks, bonds, even crypto, right? Because you've been delaying your gratification and taking parts of your earnings and putting into those things, and you retire and you continue to, let's say, dollar cost average in to, let's say, stocks and crypto and things of that nature. You have pieces of property that you've acquired throughout your tenure working, and these properties are paid off. And one day, after living a long life, healthy life, successful life, you pass on, and you have a trust or a will, and you leave those assets to your child or to your children. That's a form of generational wealth. And you did not have to start a business or build a business to do it. Now, that doesn't mean that those properties also are worth millions, gazillions of dollars, because that's something that I think people believe too. Generational wealth is just leaving assets behind to the next generation, for that generation to take and continue to build on and leave for the next generation. Things that can be turned into cash: real estate, stocks, bonds, crypto, so on, so forth. All right. A lot of people, listen to the stuff that they hear online and then they jump out the window. I see it all the time. People come up on my platform, on my live streams, on my call-in show, and I ask them, "Why do you want to start a trucking business?" Oh, because I want to break this curse and build generational wealth. What, you can do that working for a job. You don't necessarily have to build a business. And I'm not trying to deter people from starting a business, right? Because I am a believer, being a business owner, of being entrepreneurship, right? But I want people to understand that generational wealth doesn't necessarily involve riches, and you don't necessarily have to start a business to do it, right? Because even with starting a business, just because you start a business doesn't mean you're going to be able to create generational wealth. There's so many people that start businesses and fail because they don't understand how to own and operate the business. They don't do business plans. They don't understand operational costs, things of that nature. You can have a business and be running what you think is a successful business for years, but if you're not appropriating money into the future to build generational wealth by investing into assets, things that you can turn into cash, like real estate, like stocks, like crypto, like bonds, then you won't build it. It takes delayed gratification. It takes discipline because you have to invest this money. And it takes hard work because you have to make the money in order to invest it into things that one day when you pass on can be passed on to the next generation. All right. So, and one more thing, like generational wealth doesn't always have to do with assets that can be turned into cash. It's also a mindset thing. If I have a kid and I build this kid up and I instill good morals and character and values in this child or these children, so that they can go out and be successful or be sustainable on their own once, let's say, I pass on. That's also a form of generational wealth because I can build an asset portfolio and leave it behind to you. But if you don't have the proper mindset in place to be able to take these assets and build on top of them to carry that legacy on, then what's the point? We see so many times parents build these huge asset portfolios or build these modest asset portfolios, and they pass on, and then their children come into this generational wealth, whether it be on a minute scale or a modest scale or even on a high scale. And what happens? They come into this large lump sum of money. They don't have the mindset to be able to know what to do with this new found wealth, and they blow it away. You have people, business owners. I know a few business owners here that had successful restaurants. They passed on, they left it to their kids, and their kids ran the restaurants into the ground. These are restaurants that, were staples in the communities for years. You couldn't mess this up. You couldn't mess this up, but yet and still the parent passed on, left the restaurants to the kids, and the kids just ruined it. And now these restaurants are no more, and these kids, their generational wealth was blew because they didn't have the mindset. So, generational wealth can also be mindset, character, morals, ethics. All right. So it's just something I want, people to think about. People wanted my take on it. I didn't want to do it in a live stream format. I thought it'd be more beneficial to do it in a video format and get it out there. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Peace.